this is with GMP, right? So what we'll do now, I will kill. I took away my damage support gem as well, so I'm running as few links as I can. I need to keep this one so I make sure they're attacking. I'm gonna do every phase with a woke GMP. I'm gonna try the first phase by convocating my minions away from him so they're not stacked on top of him. Okay. We're gonna do this. That is terrible damage. It's the last phase that matters. I'm gonna do the same thing now, but I'm gonna convocate the guys right on top of him. No, it's 1 man HP, it's fine. I'm gonna do the same thing now, but I'm gonna convocate them right on top of him. And this is with GMP. So now we're gonna convocate them right on top of him. So I can verify right now that that is more damage. That is straight up more damage. By convocating them straight on top of him. Still GMP. I'm going to take away GMP now. I'm going to convocate them straight on top of him.
Really interesting enough to warrant all this pain.
You see that damage? They are shooting projectiles. You see the projectiles. You see the projectiles. And they're doing less damage without GMP. That is a lot less damage. Now I'm going to put GMP back in. So we know GMP is more damage. Yes, put in. Feel free to whisper me in game. I'd love to do some more tests with this to verify so people don't think, oh, it's just random, right? So convocating them on top of the boss is more damage. And doing GMP is more damage. Now I'm going to do the last phase with the flask up. Okay. So, we're going to flask it. We've taken away VP. This is with GMP. And we're going to flask it up. And we're convocating it right up the top here.
Why do I bother?
And loot. Thank you. Okay. And do the exact same test now. But this time, we're going to use Volley. I never did this. We're gonna do Volley now. Dying Sun does not affect the Spectres. That gives me extra projectiles, not the Spectres. So now we're doing the same test, no VP included, as few gems as I can in this current setup, with Volley instead of woke GMP. I'm gonna try convocating them away from the target. I'm gonna try to convocate them on top of the target. And we're gonna see the differences. So, we're going to start with convocating them away from the targets. This is being away from the targets. And that was a lot less damage than being on top of the targets. Now we're going to do the same thing by being on top of the target instead. That was less damage. That was even less damage than GMPing away from the targets. Now the plan is to convocate them on top of him. With Volley. That is a lot less damage. A lot less damage than GMP. I'm not using Avatar Fire, it's being overwritten by or Stormbrand so fast anyways. They're on top of it, you can see that they're shooting projectiles. It is very visible that they're shooting projectiles. This is with the Volley, with flasks and everything. You see projectile shooting. Taking ages to kill him. Oh god. Ooh. And now he's dead. Thank you. So, we can now verify that GMP is better than Volley. We can also verify that it is much better to convocate them on top of the boss, exactly like I've said from the start. I'm going to go buy a level 1 GMP I'm going to do one more test with a level 1 normal GMP instead of the woke GMP. We're taking away our damage support gems. We're looking at the damage differences. We have to lower our damage because we're one-shotting the bosses otherwise. So now we're going to test level 1 GMP. And if the level 1 GMP is better than a Volley, which I'm 99% certain it should be, but we'll see. Start the RP. But we can verify that even with Volley, even Volley did more damage when I convocated them close to the boss rather than away from the boss. Which is exactly what I've been saying when Kai is saying, oh, you should convocate them a bit away from the boss because the Volley projectiles. She is explaining, let me just paint this up for you boys. She is saying that the Spectres are shooting their projectiles like this. She's saying that they are shooting like this. Right? This is basically what she's saying. This is what she's saying that they do. And that you would want the boss to be here, meaning you want them to be further away. This does not happen. You can see that this is not happening. This is what's happening in reality. When you look at what's happening with their projectiles, this is the spread that they're doing. They're shooting out of their fucking ass. This here happens with GMP normally. This is how Volley is supposed to work. This does not happen on these Spectres. This happens. And I've been saying that several times. And we've also been able to verify that they do not shotgun with their initial 3 projectiles. Because if they were shotgunning with their initial projectiles, we would have better single target damage not using Volley.
A real challenge. You've finally caught my attention.
This is a level 1 normal GMP. And that should be more damage than Volley. We're going to verify it by looking at the clip later. So we already know that convocating them on top of the boss is better than away from the boss. We've been able to verify that now by doing several tests verifying this. So on top of the boss is the best. And this is a normal GMP. Oh, that's why I'm doing so less damage. I forgot to summon my Harbinger, so I actually have a little bit more damage. This is not 2 man HP. It's not 2 man HP unless he spawns with 2 players being here. And he's not spawned until you start actually attacking him. Oh, my bad. My bad. I didn't see that. So again, we can see very clearly that convocating them on top of the boss is better than a little bit away from the boss. And I've tried 3 different distances in these clips. 3 different... convocating them on top of a boss is better. We know that. And this is with a level 1 GMP. It's not a woke GMP. It's a level 1 GMP. Now we're going to flask it up on the next phase. Do you see this? Volley couldn't get that damage done on him being dead before he teleports the second time. A level 1 GMP is doing that right now. By convocating them on top of him. And now we're going to flask it up. Level 1 GMP. We're going to convocate. And this is the big DPS check. Ah, shit. And there's the damage. And come in and please. Till next time, stay safe and keep rocking.